Hey guys, welcome back to 365 Days of SEO. This is Christian Bullock. Today we're talking about a frequently asked question about SEO, and that is, does my URL structure matter for my website? And the answer is yes. The structure of your URLs definitely matters when it comes to optimization of your web pages and search engine ranking pages. But how does it matter and why does it matter? Well, a couple of things. First, URLs need to be clean and friendly. What I mean by that is that the URL needs to be descriptive. It needs to give an indication, an idea, not only from a search engine perspective, but from a user perspective, what is going to be on the page. So a couple years ago, having keywords in a URL actually was a little bit of a ranking factor. Now, it's been definitely lessened. It's not as much of a ranking factor, not super important or crucial that you get your keyword in your URL, but it's a nice to have. But now looking at it, when it comes from a search engine perspective, it's just sort of a way to let them know what's going to be on the page. If it's not a clean URL structure, if there aren't any keywords in the URL, if it's just a string of text and letters, etc., it's a little bit harder for search engines to start understanding what the page is going to be about until they hit the page and start spiking through all the content. It also is helpful from a clean URL perspective when it comes to how search engines display your URL on the search engine results page. So now you can actually provide some markup to give Google, other search engines, but more importantly Google itself, which is of course the leading search engine in the US, an idea of how they want to display your URL in a mobile search engine result page. Someone on the mobile device is doing a search. Instead of showing the URL, search engines are now showing the site name and category and maybe even the page name based on what web page is being showed up on that search engine result page. So having that markup, but more importantly, having a URL structure that's very clean, that's user-friendly, can help search engines display this stuff so you can get a leg up in terms of having something that's displayed in a fancy and good way versus your competition. And lastly, when it comes to URL structure, if you do happen to have some funky URLs going on, you have a lot of backslashes, you have not very descriptive URLs, it's a bunch of just random text or numbers, etc. There are some things you can do in Google Webmaster Tools, Bing Webmaster Tools to let search engines know about certain things that you're doing for your URL. So if there's a certain pattern, you can let them know about that so they can get a little bit more of an indication of how they want to display the URL in search engine results. So if you do have something like that, you don't have to change it necessarily. You can just go to those two different tools and let them know that, hey, here's how my URL structure is built out. I'm giving you a little bit of a cheat sheet on how my URLs actually happen and work and look on my website. And that's why URL structure matters. And a lot of people like to, and we're seeing a lot of success with moving into URL structures that are very short, meaning it's on a secondary level, like domain.com slash URL structure, right? For this specific blog post, instead of domain.com slash frequently asked questions about SEO slash URL slash best practices for URL structure. Having something that's very short, to the point, and clean it hits those right notes in terms of it being user friendly and setting it up for a search engine perspective and letting them know, okay, this is exactly what the content's going to be all about. It's placed on the secondary level of my domain, so I'm placing some importance of it. I want people to see it, etc. My name is Christian Bullock, 365daysofseo.com. See you guys tomorrow.